Hi and thanks for tuning into Koi Boy's YouTube channel mix. I'm Whitney, Koi's assistant. As you can see, he's really trying to step up his content. He hopes I can somehow bring him more followers and views. So if you can make sure you subscribe for future videos, you would really be doing me a solid. Thanks guys, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye bye now.
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing all right today. Just got my new assistant Whitney. Actually didn't work out so well, so I'm trying to do bigger things.
If someone spit in your mother's face, a snowflake test, 96.4% of the people that take the snowflake test fail. The first or second question on the test, if someone spit in your mama's face, what are the choices? There's 4 or 5 choices. The choice that's most clicked is I would try to figure out where he was coming from and if he had a bad day. Now what the fuck does that have to do with spitting in your mama's face? I would try to figure out if he had a bad day. Does that mean if he had a bad day, it's all right to spit in your mother's face? We have another test. It's called Super Success Test. 98.4% flunked that test because we decided to make a softer test. It's called the Super Success Test. So we asked softer questions, hoping, praying that the results are going to be better. Boy, never underestimate how wrong you can be, kids. So the softer test was based on what kind of sacrifices are you willing to be super successful? 60 hours a week, nobody is willing to work 60 hours a week to be successful. Nobody's willing to miss a wedding anniversary to be successful. Nobody is willing to miss a holiday. If you booked a holiday and something important happened in business, would you tell your family to go on the holiday without you? And you're not going to go. Nobody said yes. And it's got 27 questions or 26 questions. And they flunked that test worse than the other test because you're not willing to make any sacrifices to be high performance. If someone spit...
I don't know what tests he's talking about, but I'm not sure I understand this one.
Bear and the rabbit shitting in the woods. Bear says to the rabbit, "You have problems with shit sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit says,
"Who took the picture of Neil Armstrong?"
You're getting low video views like...
Yo, so a YouTuber from the United States just discovered proof that the earth is flat. Bro, this is crazy. A YouTuber just discovered some evidence that may lead us to believing the earth's biggest question. Is it really a sphere or is it flat? Luke Nichols, popular YouTuber from the United States, mainly known for his unique camping videos where he spends sometimes weeks stranded in hostile environments with only the natural elements to rely on. Luke was on a 4-day camping and fishing trip to the southern eastern part of Alaska. He was riding his snowmobile through the mountains of Alaska trying to find his perfect spot to set up camp. Suddenly, he was stopped in his tracks. He came across a crack in the earth's surface that ran for miles either side. He was shocked. What could this possibly mean, he thought. He kept on tracking through the snow when suddenly his life changed forever. He came to the top of a large snow dune, but what he seen is truly terrifying, fam. He expected to see more snow, maybe wilderness. Instead, it was just darkness, a drop of the side of the earth. He couldn't believe his eyes. He'd reached the end of the earth. He quickly took out his phone to videotape what he saw. Before sending us the video, he warned us to only send it to those who are true warriors of the outdoors. To see the video, comment Outdoor Boys, and we will send it via DM. Yo!
Okay, well, my little one's gonna be in this video, but this is where the
if you're looking to grow your TikTok account or drive sales...
History is so much different than we've been taught. There was once a civilization that was wiped out because it threatened the profits of the oil industry. The Tartarian Empire was a society where they had discovered ancient knowledge about farming atmospheric energy. They incorporated special coils into all of their architecture, and their entire society was powered for free. They had also discovered how to manipulate frequencies and move objects, which allowed them to build beautiful architecture. This is the same technology that the ancients used to build the pyramids. This society was far better than what we have today, as free energy allowed for people to focus less on work and more on creating a strong society. These people flourished for years until they tried to spread their technology. The oil oligarchs recognized that free energy threatened the profits they could make from oil. For years, they slowly destroyed the society and rewrote history as if they never existed. This technology was hidden and is now likely located in the Vatican archives, along with tons of other advanced knowledge. History is so much different than we've been taught.
Yep. I've heard that. That's real shit. Facts.
This is how I traveled the world.
Women are sponsored till it all. Now this is scary. Have you guys heard of the satanic Oreo theory? We all know
something's going on, and there's no way it's the Chinese or the Russians or anyone else's technology. This isn't a hoax. There's too much data to suggest that it's a hoax. We've got too much radar imagery. There's too much satellite data.
We tracked 3 unidentified objects. One in Alaska, Canada, and over Lake Huron. I gave the order to take down these 3 objects. We don't yet know exactly what these 3 objects were.
Bombshell Daily Mail article came out this week saying a secret office of the CIA has collected at least 9 non-human spacecraft from all over the world over the last 20 years. Of those 9 spacecraft, 1 had crashed with considerable damage. The 2 others were completely intact. The retrieval mission was allegedly performed by the military.
I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all?
Something's going.
Ooh, I like that. The way it's all put together gives me goosebumps.
It's a little insane to me.
Most Americans.
This is a printer tape. He stands up and he starts.
1920 is when everything pretty much changed. They started changing every single thing. They started removing certain parts of the history. They started rewriting the history. 1920s is about that time. Educational system started changing everything. Rockefeller educational system. So if you find books, you want to find books before 1920s. Because if you don't find books before 1920s, you're usually being told a bunch of nonsense. And you look at a lot of the free energy books too, and everything related to the ether, that's before 1920s. The ether was removed from the periodic table after 1908. Every book you look into, it talks about ether and terrestrial magnetism and all of these things. 1908, that was removed off the periodic table. And that was removed so that people would not believe in the ether. They would think it's woo-woo. They would think it's pseudoscience. Those are all terms of the Rockefeller educational system. Coming up with terms to debunk the truth and debunk what we were once connected to. Then when you get rid of ether, you get rid of everything related to the 5th element and the quantum. You get rid of all of that. And then you make up a whole new narrative and you remove all that so that when you can't explain something, you just say, I don't know what it is. 1920 is whenever...
Yeah, I like this video. I like that guy, and that's true. I knew about this, and the ether is real. You can't. It's a real deal thing, and they just didn't want people to know about it. But
what's a brother? A brother is more.
So imagine you're a remote closer. Let's take.
Find out what you're good at.
$10.
So the way this.
Think of the big bells that used to be all over the world, but they destroyed all of them after World War II. Why did they destroy all the bells after World War II? Because if you sit in a bell and someone hits it and it begins to resonate, you can begin to heal like that. Because sound frequency instantaneously heals the body. Similar to chanting. If you any sound effect will begin to instantly structure all the body at the same time. That's what used to happen in the cathedrals. They would ring the bells or they would play the pipe organs and all of the cells in the body would instantaneously become structured, which would instantly heal them. But they had to get rid of the pipe organs, which are made from lead, which is interesting, and they had to get rid of the bells because both of those can heal people. Now imagine if a bell of the size of the massive bells we were shown was ringing in a cathedral, okay? Now imagine the frequency that would come out of the cathedral into the town. You could heal the entire town instantaneously just by ringing the bell in the cathedral. They had to break all those bells. All the bells you ever look up. Just type in like bell in whatever country or city you're in, and notice how all the bells have a crack in them and they're broken. I wonder why that is. Think of the big bells.
Dude, we're on a roll tonight. There's a lot of good ones being put out. And this, I don't know that I'm gonna figure out what this guy's name is. He's on it.
Thinking about starting your own online Amazon?
Have you ever heard of the 1988 anomaly theory? It's a theory that in 1988 there was an end of the world event where humanity went extinct. I really wanted to do a video about this a while back, but where I got the information from was a photo post, and you can't stitch photo posts. So I dicked with it for a little bit, and I'm like, screw it, I'm giving up. Somebody sent me this video. I'm like, that's the same information from the original photo post. It might even be the original creator. I don't know, but watch this video and let me know what you think, and I'll let you know what I think. Damn it, man.
In the year 1988, a strange phenomenon swept across the globe, one that went unnoticed by the public but caused ripples through the fabric of reality. It was the year humanity faced an unrecorded extinction, and everything we know today is built on the echoes of that lost world. A small group of internet theorists, known as the Anomaly Truthers, believed that in 1988, a catastrophic event erased humanity. This event was so devastating that it caused a reset in the timeline, a glitch that the universe itself scrambled to fix. They claim this is why so many people experience the Mandela effect, because our collective consciousness is trying to reconcile the inconsistencies between pre- and post-1988 realities. The surge in 80s nostalgia isn't just cultural. It's a subconscious effort by those who lived through the anomaly to remember the lost world. This is why new generations, even those born decades later, feel an inexplicable connection to the 80s. They're resonating with the echoes of a past that's imprinted on the human psyche. What if our 80s nostalgia and moments of deja vu are more than whims of the mind, but whispers of a forgotten past?
Dang. I mean, obviously that's just, that's just a theory. There were some parts that kind of made sense, but then like, no. Silly.
There's this crazy story that happened, I think it was in Germany, where this guy, he was hired to fix a refrigerator on a train, right? It was like, no, it was a freezer. So he ended up getting locked in the freezer, right? And he's like, shit, I'm trapped in here. Nobody else is coming to save me. I'm gonna die here. So he took out his notes and he started writing, these are my final moments. I'm gonna die in this freezer. Shit, it's getting cold, blah, blah, blah. He's writing, I missed out on all these things in life, and it's getting colder. I can feel myself slipping away. And he died. But what happened was the guards ended up opening up the freezer, seeing his dead body, but they realized, yo, this freezer's not working. It's not even cold in here.
Whoa, really?
So he thought himself to death.
Damn, bro.
Because that was the reason he was going there to fix it anyways in the first place.
So see, how you gonna fix the freezer if it's running?
Yeah, so it was just all in his head.
That's crazy.
So he thought of dying so badly, he ended up dying.
He ended up actually dying.
How powerful the mind is.
Damn.
Wow, that's nuts. Mind, powerful thing. That's nuts.
Uzi, I posted the tickets on my story.
Yeah.
Yo, there was like 20 DMs. Gavin, be safe, bro. Be safe.
Wait, why?
It's very interesting is that in Genesis 9, after the flood of Noah's day, God says to Noah, go forth, multiply, and replenish the earth. So I asked the rabbis, I said, is this a correct translation when it says go forth, multiply, and replenish the earth? Yes, that's correct. And I said, well, then that means do it again, because means do it again. Yes, this is correct. If God has destroyed all of mankind with a great flood, and if you want to have people on the earth, you're going to have to replenish the earth. Do it again. But what about in Genesis 1:28 when God is creating Adam and he says to Adam and Eve, go forth, multiply, and replenish the earth. The word is replenish. And I said, this is the first man and woman. And the rabbi said, no, it was not the first man and woman. He's telling the Adam to replenish the earth. Do it again. Because in Genesis 1:1 it says, in the beginning, the gods created the heavens and the earth. But very interesting, in Genesis 1:2 says, and the earth was without without form and void. And the rabbis will tell you, what does that mean? That God creates the earth and is without form and void? What does that mean? God creates something that has no form and is void. No, it's a mistranslation. The English were great with the King's English. They didn't know that much about Hebrew. Now we know better about the Hebrew language. And so the word in the Genesis 1:2 was tohu vavohu. Tohu vavohu is mistranslated and was without form and void. No, go back and read it correctly. Genesis 1:2 actually says, using the term tohu vavohu, and the earth became a waste and a desolation. Not was without form and void. That means nothing. And it's interesting that in Jeremiah 4, where the prophet Jeremiah says, I was sleeping on my bed and God gave me a vision of the earth. And the earth was filled with beautiful animals and beautiful cities. And there were great structures, but there was no man on the earth. And I said, wait a minute, the earth is filled with beautiful structures and beautiful animals, but there was no man on the earth? That's right. So it says in Jeremiah. Well, then who the hell was here then if it wasn't man? And then Jeremiah says, and then I saw tohu vavohu. Same word that was used in Genesis 1:2. I saw the earth and it became a waste and a desolation. So what the scripture is actually saying is that the earth was a beautiful paradise of some kind of an incredibly gorgeous and beautiful paradise on the earth many, many hundreds of millions of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, who knows, but became a waste and a desolation, which implies that there must have been some kind of a Star Wars.
If you're seeking the real truth, if you want to understand what you are and where...
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Makes sense, though. Jordan Maxwell, good old boy.
Have you heard of Quantum Club?
I have a random craving for...
Most people don't know this, but there's a brain structure called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. What's interesting about this brain area is there are now a lot of data in humans showing that when people do something they don't want to do, like add 3 hours of exercise per day or per week, or when people who are trying to diet and lose weight resist eating something.
Right.
When people do anything that they, and this is the important part, that they don't want to do. It's not about adding more work, it's about adding more work that you don't want to do.
Yes.
This brain area gets bigger. The anterior mid-cingulate cortex, it's larger in athletes. It's especially large or grows larger in people that see themselves as challenged and overcome some challenge. And in people that live a very long time, this area keeps its size. In many ways, scientists are starting to think of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex not just as one of the seats of willpower, but perhaps actually the seat of the will to live.
Now we're talking.
And when I learned about the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, I was like almost out of my seat. When I started seeing the data on the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, I was like, whoa. This is interesting. All the data point to the fact that we can build this area up. As quickly as we build it up, if we don't continue to invest in things that are hard for us, that we don't want to do. Like if you love the ice bath, yeah, I love the ice bath, you go from 1 minute to 10 minutes, guess what? Your anterior mid-cingulate cortex did not grow.
None.
But if you hate the cold water, if you're afraid of drowning and you get into water and put your head under, then the anterior mid-cingulate cortex gets bigger. But if you don't do it the next day, or if you do it the next day and you enjoy it, because hey, I did it yesterday, woohoo, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex shrinks again. Most people don't know this.
Dang. Yeah, I didn't know that. I like that, though. I'm going to put it to use. I'm going to test it. You can never, don't ever wake up and think you can't learn nothing. Knowledge is power. And wisdom. It's good stuff.
NASA owns the rights to the...
We got free!
Flat. It's flat. The world is flat.
The world is flat.
You ever hear the toothpaste theory?
Toothpaste?
So you know how the toothpaste at the bottom, there's always like a block of color on the thing. There's like a little square.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? You either get a black square, a red square, a blue square. You know what those mean?
No, isn't it just like anti-cavity?
Theory goes that the elites or the people that know the code stay away from certain colors of the toothpaste.
Whoa.
So it's like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
The code is if you have the green on your toothpaste, it means it's all natural. The blue, it says adds natural plus medicine.
Okay.
If it has red, it's natural with chemical. And if it has black, it's all chemical. Because you think about why the does all the toothpaste have that and it's all the same toothpaste? Now, if you were part of some like secret organization across the world when you're going to buy products, how are you supposed to know which one's safe for you?
Fuck.
So you gotta look at that like, oh fuck,
No,
I can't buy
usually
this
they're
one.
all black. No, it's so crazy because like you notice these things in life.
Yeah, after I watched this one, I immediately went into the bathroom to check what mine was. Can't remember what color it was, but who knows if this is, you know what I mean? This could just be whatever, but still kind of cool.
And what generally leads to hypertension?
So, regret not finishing high school or one. I feel like when I'm sleeping and shit, I love sleeping with the rain, especially
the rain.
Thunderstorms.
Really?
I can. As a baby, I used to not like thunderstorms, but then now it's like it's so comforting. When I can't sleep, I'll put on my earphones and go to sleep on the YouTube stuff. I'll search up rain sound.
Rain stuff, really?
Yeah.
Yo, cause if you take it in, thunder's kind of scary, bro.
It is.
It's literally electricity in the sky, fam.
Bro.
If we didn't know what that was back in the day, like imagine freaking like Viking era. That's why they thought thunder was Thor, like a freaking god, or Zeus.
Fam, I seen this TikTok video where there was like this girl, right?
Yeah.
And there was this other girl standing, and she's just taking a video of her friend, and the girl's like, hey, right?
Yeah.
And then all you see, like her hair starts to frizz up.
No.
And there's like a cloudy thunderstorm about to happen, right?
Yeah.
And the friend's like, oh my god, get in the house. And she's like, wait, what? So I'm going through the comments, I'm like, what's wrong with frizzy hair? But I heard that like if your hair starts to frizz up, you're about to get like shot by lightning.
Ah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Nah, I didn't know that shit.
Damn, you learn a lot on TikTok, Loki.
Yo.
Dang, I didn't know that. But yeah, like you just said, you learn a lot on TikTok. You really can. I have. Facts.
Here's the dark truth behind the shadow work journal that nobody wants you to know. I realized that for some reason everyone's just obsessed with this new thing called the shadow work journal on this app, so I went and got me one.
What if a Category 5 hurricane hit New York City? So within the first... What if a Category 5 hurricane hit New York City? So within the first second, the city's air would be charged with the electricity and ominous silence before the storm. As the hurricane makes landfall, its 157 miles per hour winds would batter the coastline, ripping trees from the ground and turning unsecured objects into lethal projectiles. Windows and skyscrapers would shatter under the pressure, sending glass raining down onto the streets below. 1 minute in, the streets would start to flood. The surge, a wall of water pushed ahead of the hurricane, would inundate lower Manhattan, submerging subway tunnels and basements, causing catastrophic damage to the city's infrastructure. Power lines would snap, plunging vast swaths of the city into darkness. But before continuing, did you know that if you click on share, then on more and a blue radio app appears, it means your phone is being tracked by someone? Okay, so within the first hour, the full force of the hurricane would be upon the city, overwhelming flood defenses and causing widespread destruction. Hospitals would be on emergency power, struggling to deal with the influx of injured, while emergency services would be stretched to their limits, battling to reach those in need through the chaos. A day after the hurricane hits, New York would be a city in shock. Streets once teeming with life would be deserted, littered with debris.
Dang, yeah, that'd be rough. Trying to imagine it.
So, you make 100...
There's a theory that has been proven, but they've discovered it's called a rogue wave. Basically a tsunami, but there's nothing that creates it. It just pops up. And it was a theory, but they weren't able to prove it. But then an oil rig out in the Bermuda Triangle got video or a picture of it, and it's basically a wave that shoots up to 90 feet tall.
Oh, no.
But it's just one wave?
It's just one wave.
Oh, no.
There's a theory that is...
You ever heard about the aliens that contacted us?
This is absolutely mind-blowing. Recent research has suggested that plants aren't only sentient, but are intelligent on levels we never would have imagined possible. Check this out.
There's been a revolution in vegetal biology. Science now shows that plants appear to be sentient beings. They perceive light, smell, touch, water, and many more variables than we do. They can learn, remember, and communicate. They exhibit the traits that we associate with personhood. Experimental science has confirmed that plants can see when you're standing next to them and the color of your shirt. They don't have eyes, but they have the same photoreceptor proteins all over their bodies that humans have at the back of the retina. A plant may not have a brain, but it acts like a brain, says Narby. The word neuron comes from the Greek for vegetal fiber. Neurons actually look like the cut of the inside of a plant. Research over the past 30 years has illuminated a profound intelligence throughout nature. Dolphins and many other animals recognize themselves in a mirror, long a scientific measure of intelligence. Pigeons have better memory for paintings than do college students. But you gotta give it up for slime molds. In every single test, these single-celled, brainless, mucus-like blobs that can reach the size of a human hand perfectly solve mazes, another measure of intelligence. Slime molds are so expert at setting up intelligent tubing networks that biomimetic researchers are studying them to successfully design solutions to traffic problems and pipeline architecture.
Yeah, that's. I knew that. I'd heard an experiment years ago about how plants was able to feel stuff, and I believe it because we're all one consciousness, I believe, and we're all connected. We're all different, but we're all one. You know what I mean? And so it looks like.
Even more exciting part.
I want you people at home to do the same thing. Take your hands and go like this. A little bit apart, just a little bit, and then go back, but don't touch it.
Feels like a magnet.
Exactly, it feels like a magnet.
What the
You should feel some kind of energy, some kind of magnetism. And if you don't, you're an NPC because you don't have a soul. Do you understand that? You do not have a soul if you can't feel it. Come here, put your hands right here. Do you feel that?
Yes. That's weird.
This is how stuff works. You have energy in your body. They don't teach you this stuff in schools. I want you people at home to do the same thing.
Oh my god. Dude, it's worked. Oh, ooh. I never tried that. Okay. Looks like we're about down to our last video, and the thing I've been doing is doing some entertainment of my own, some homegrown, homemade stuff. Okay. I'll do this one with my brother.
In the heart-stopping world of professional bull riding, there's one name that stands above the rest. Casey Coulter. With his unmatched skill and unwavering determination, Coulter has become a legend in the arena, captivating audiences with his awe-inspiring talent. Coulter's skill is not just about staying aboard for 8 seconds. It's about the finesse, the artistry, and the mastery of the sport. He possesses an innate understanding of the bulls, their movements, and their unique personalities. This knowledge allows him to anticipate their every sway, twist, and buck, effortlessly staying in sync with their wild rhythm. His balance is impeccable, his timing precise. He navigates the treacherous dance with the bull, adjusting his body with a fluidity that seems almost supernatural. Coulter's ability to read the bull's behavior and react instinctively sets him apart from the rest, making him a force to be reckoned with in the world of bull riding. But Coulter's skill extends beyond the arena. His dedication to his craft is unparalleled, spending countless hours in training, studying, and refining his technique. He knows that true mastery is not achieved overnight, but through a relentless pursuit of perfection.
Heck yeah, getting him road. He's freaking killing it. He's doing good this year already. So you can search him up, Casey Coulter. That being said, guys, I think that's going to be the end of our show. Make sure you tune in, like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy your guys' day, night, or morning. Skirt, skirt. Later, later.
Every day I ain't never gonna wait up. Got the green screen, got the TV, got the